excited.
No, I can't tell.
No,
I can't tell at all.
women of color in space. It's
So much color. Orange,
oh my god,
purple.
it's amazing to see you guys like represent us, and we're nerds of color, so it's great to see you guys represent us in space and in this fandom. Like, what were you guys looking forward to most when you were entering this, and any feeling of responsibility, or how do you feel about being part of this universe?
Oh my God. I am honored there's like a duality to it, because in some ways, especially as an actor, I've always had to talk about race. And sometimes it's like, even just going to this galaxy, it's like, oh, that's actually not part of that character. It's more about like species or what planet you're from. And it's relieving in that way, in a way, because it just removes that completely from your identity, because it's just a different galaxy. But then in another way, I also know that George Lucas was incredibly inspired by Kurosawa, and so much of the Jedi principles are based on Eastern philosophy and Chi. And so to be an Asian actress in a story that came from that, it means a lot, and I feel responsibility in that sense. So I hope the Sabine character does it justice.
Yeah, I everything that you just said and more. I think that the reason why this world has meant so much to so many generations is because of how broad its story is. And I think it encompasses a lot more than just Eastern or just Western sort of ideas and philosophies and vision. It's something that actually pushes all of us even beyond, but still brings that ancient not just technology, but like spirituality, and I think that's something that's constantly missing when we look to the future. We miss that sort of what we get from our ancestors, which is why, as a sense of purpose and a sense of belonging. And I think that's what's so beautiful, and why when you see generations of people who are here and they're passing it on, it's not just because it's cool and we're playing with laser swords. It's because we're really talking about the balance of life and what it means to show up every single day and make choices that are good for you and for others. And if you falter in that, know that that is real, and that's true as well, and everyone falters, and you have a chance, no matter how dark it can get, you can turn that around, and that to always beware, because no matter if you're heading towards that light, you can still falter. So I just love the life lessons that are in it. It's not just distraction, it's not just fantasy, it's something bigger.
Right,
very much it is.
Well, I'm so excited. This is not asking for spoilers, but how was Bo-Katan feeling at the end of the season? Just her overall emotions near the end.
Well, I think that she's second-guessing herself. For fans of Clone Wars and Rebels, they've seen Bo-Katan accept that Darksaber before. Why not now? Why can't she take it now? Something has changed, and I think that that is something that is intriguing to me as a viewer.
Well, when you were revealed, everyone screamed. The whole internet went crazy when you were revealed. We were so happy to see you. What was the most thing that you were looking forward to when from the animated series to this? Like, was it the helmet? Was it the costume? What was it you were most looking forward to? Playing her real life.
I think it's her capabilities. Bo-Katan is such a warrior, such a complex character. And for me, I love to be physical in my roles, and she is probably the most physical I've ever played. So I was really looking forward to that. I was really looking forward to dreaming because I dream as my characters, and when I dream of Bo-Katan now, I see my own face, and before I saw her in animation. So it's exciting.
Oh my God, we've always seen your face, so we're so happy. I am so excited to chat with you. I love everything you've done, just everything. And I wanted to know, you've brought The Mandalorian in, he's a new character, and then you've also worked, with other characters, like Ahsoka and, all this stuff. Is there anyone that you would want to work on more original characters, or would you like to explore more of the other characters?
It's really interesting because both have their strengths. When you work on original characters, you have a lot of latitude, and you can make them go whatever direction you'd like, as long as they fit within the Star Wars continuity and the rules about how things like the Force are used. And that's why it's great to have a partner like Dave Filoni, who has a very deep understanding from working with George what those rules are. When you engage with legacy characters, of course, you inherit everybody's emotional connection with those characters. But also now you're becoming you're shepherding this character, through a set of stories, and you have to make sure that those characters don't belong to you. They belong to the people who created those characters, the fans, people who have an understanding about them. So whenever we're dealing with characters that existed before, I have a lot of conversations with Dave Filoni, sometimes even with George Lucas. Even if I'm working with a character, I try to connect with the people who've dealt with that character before or who created that character.
Hi, good. The Siege is my favorite episode.
I keep hearing that from people.
You're
I really liked it.
Oh my God, you're directing, you're acting. It's just you're like, how is it to be in the actor's chair and also like kind of transition for being like the character and then also like focusing on all the overall story and not just your own like backstory that you have to focus on?
Yeah, well, the good news is I've been directing for a while, so that's good. And I've directed myself in things. There's an advantage, I think, and the advantage is that because you've been in front of the camera, you can really appreciate what actors need. You can also talk to actors in the language they understand. And as a director, obviously, it's like if you were a kid and you were playing with little figures or little dolls in a house or a castle. You get to put things in a way that you can utilize the camera then to get the perspective you want. And if you're in the scene, you can move in ways that force the other actors or at least gets them to move where you feel they'll be best presented on camera, just because you understand the angle and what's going on behind the scenes.
But what I love about your character and you just being part of this universe is that you give us someone to look up to and someone to represent us, and honestly, like there's not many people of color in space, and just
they
seeing
are there, we just don't get a chance to see
we
them.
don't get the chance to see
That's
them.
right.
You're such a great figure, and it's inspiring, and it's beautiful to see you and your strength. How is it to be? Is there any pressure? How do you feel being kind of representing this for us?
It's interesting that you ask me that, because someone alluded to that yesterday in a question. I don't feel any pressure at all. There's no pressure, and the reason there's no pressure, at this point in my life and in my career, I've been doing what I've been doing in the same way for so many years. I'll be 50th anniversary as a professional actor in a year and a half, right? So it's been a lot of years. I came in with something I wanted to express on camera and represent on camera. I don't even have to think about it. I know what it is. And so what you see is what I originally started out with, and that was being present. It's like if you walk into a room, people are going to know you're there. That's all. Just be present. That's the best representation you can do. And whatever you deliver, obviously, then is up to you on how you construct that and put that out there. But to just be present, that gives the example. You said it in your question, yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We always put legendary actor because you honestly are an icon for us.
Thank you. I should really appreciate that. Really do.
Thank you. I'm so happy to talk to you. You're a hero for all of us in this universe.
Thank you very much. That's very nice of you. We have fun anyway.
Oh my God. So I want to know what's Boba Fett's thought process at the end of the chapter? What was he thinking? What's his main frame of mind? It's not a spoiler because it's at the end of the series.
He's thinking of a Bacta bath, I think. Get rid of that helmet, relax, take all the armor off, and have a nice soak in his Bacta tank with some bubbles and a champagne. And that's about it, I think. And wait to see what the writers have in store next. Yeah, but he's been through a lot, so it's time just to have a bit of a rest now and see if he's going to make a reappearance in anything, but we might find out more later over the weekend. So I see the writers and all the big boys are here, so there's room to explore. There's room to explore further galaxies, so it'll be interesting to see if they come up with anything. But at the moment, it stands alone as a piece, as a book. So yeah, all good, all good.
Hi. I'm so excited to talk to you. I've been a fan for you for years and everything you've done, like all the shows and Stargirl and everything.
You mentioned The Good Guy, Stargirl. I love that movie.
Yeah,
I was a good guy.
You were such a good
Everyone
guy.
goes, "We played the villain."
Well, no, you were a wise person, giving advice and I love. See, I follow your career and everything.
Thank you.
So, but I wanted to know, we're nerds of color, and you represent us so well. You give us visibility in not only in the industry, but in this universe too. And that's important. Do you feel how do you feel being part of this and kind of representing? Do you feel pressure, or how do you feel like the representation is for you?
I always feel good representing a human being. It's not lost on me that my skin is brown and that I'm looked at in that way in certain places different than other places. And then even though my skin is brown, when I'm looked at in a way that all of a sudden people recognize me, then I become special. I want to be able to champion all people, and that's who I am. But I know that for us who are of color, our challenges are different. It's hard to describe the trauma that I feel I carry with me every single day due to the color of the skin. And that was something that I wasn't taught. I learned it to survive. And it's hard to share that with people who don't know what it's like to live in this color skin. Yet I have to release myself from that trauma and release myself from the generational trauma that comes with it so that I can be a human being. Even if someone doesn't think I'm a human being or looks at me just because of the color of my skin, I have to allow myself to feel that I'm enough and bolster my self-esteem every single day because of that. Because I've been told or sold a bill of goods by other people outwardly looking at me that don't inwardly look out from who I am and understand that I'm a human being. I deserve to be here. I'm talented. I'm beautiful, and I have something to contribute.
What is your character's, Armor's frame of mind at the end of the book of Boba Fett? What was she thinking? Where she is? It's not like the spoiler where we're asking for the next season, but what's her emotional set of how she's feeling? And does she have a soft spot for Din?
I think she does. Yeah, I think that she is conflicted about having to kind of kick him out, but I think she knows that it's the right thing to do because, like any good parent, you establish rules to protect your kids ultimately, and to that the lessons that they're going to learn are going to make them better and are going to you give them boundaries to help them, and so I think that that's what she's hoping for. Her frame of mind. I think she's hoping for the best, but it's also, I think, scary to enforce rules sometimes for your kids because they could be really unhappy and hate you and never come home.
Hi. Good.
Amazing.
Thank you. Zaddy it makes people feel less uncomfortable saying daddy. So that's what I mean.
Oh, God, that's wonderful. So it's not next level daddy. It's actual inclusive. It's inclusive.
Yeah.
Zaddy.
So people feel comfortable saying, instead of saying daddy, which some people feel creeped out by.
Of course.
So they say zaddy.
Zaddy, wonderful. Oh, I love that. Okay, thank you for explaining it to me.
Of course. So I'm really excited because, we see his journey in Book of Boba Fett to The Mandalorian and now the Book of Boba Fett. Where is his main frame of mind, especially, now that he's a dad, back to being the daddy to the child? Where is his frame of mind, and does that affect him with his commitment to the Mandalorian cause?
I would have to say it is the most important reunion that Mando has ever experienced. I think that it's in his character to finish a mission and get to a finish line and settle down. He never seems to get that opportunity. So I think that what we get to experience with season 3 is stuff that keeps him and all of us on our toes.
Directors, comments and the lectures, fanboys, professional artists and professors. Maybe a nerd who's just like you, talking about the things that you like too. So I invite you to the NOC in full